Now, while Mr. Trump and Mr. Xi were talking in Beijing, another powerful message came from New Delhi. And this one, it was fiery. At the BRICS meeting in India, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, he launched a direct attack on America and Israel. Not diplomatically, not softly, directly. He accused the United States and Israel of brutal aggression. He said Iran would never bow. And he framed Iran's fight as a larger battle against Western dominance. Well, this is very important because Iran is no longer presenting itself as isolated. Tehran is trying to position itself as the voice of the global South, a country resisting American pressure and Western dominance. And where did this speech happen? In India, at a BRICS platform. Now that matters globally because BRICS itself is slowly evolving into a bloc where emerging economies challenge Western influence over the global institutions. Here, Iran's message was kind of emotional, a little dramatic, and highly strategic. Mr. Araghchi, he spoke about the civilians who are suffering, destroyed infrastructure, national dignity. In fact, he accused the West of hypocrisy. In fact, he accused the powerful countries of ignoring international law whenever it suits them. And then came the real line. The battle Iran fight is for all of us. That was not rhetoric. It was Iran trying to create solidarity among developing countries that feels pressured by the West. And now America is worried that this particular conflict could become much bigger than just Iran versus Israel. Well, it could slowly become a larger geopolitical divide. The Western alliance at one hand, and a growing network of anti-Western power on the other. Though India is far from this. Countries like China and Russia, they may not openly join Iran militarily, but diplomatically they are increasingly pushing back against the Washington's global dominance propaganda. This also puts India in a very sensitive position. India has strong ties with the United States. India has long-standing ties with Iran. India is part of BRICS. India depends on stability in West Asia for energy security. So New Delhi has to walk a very diplomatic tightrope very, very carefully. America accuses China of unfair trade practices, cyber espionage, intellectual property theft, and military expansion in Asia. In the meantime, China accuses Washington of trying to stop its rise through sanctions, tariffs, technology restrictions. So even while the global leaders smile for cameras, there is deep mistrust underneath. And that is why Mr. Trump and Mr. Xi's meeting, it feels so dramatic. They are rivals, but they are also economically tied together like two giant engines connected to the same machine. If one crashes, the other one feels the shock too. America, the world's biggest military power, is now indirectly asking China for help. Yes, the same China that Washington calls its biggest strategic rival, because suddenly one narrow water route has become the center of global panic. The Strait of Hormuz, a tiny strip of water between Iran and Oman, but one of the most important one that carries nearly 1/5 of the world's oil supply every single day. Here, every tanker crossing that particular route matters. Every military moment there, it matters. And now the fear is simple. If Iran blocks it, the global economy could shake overnight. Oil prices could explode. Shipping insurance costs could rise. Petrol and diesel prices could increase globally. Inflation could hit households again, and countries like India, China, Japan, South Korea, all major energy importers basically, they would immediately feel the pressure. And that is why the Trump administration is now trying something extraordinary. US Secretary of State, Mr. Marco Rubio, he publicly said that America wants China to pressure Iran. Can you think about that carefully? Washington is basically saying, Beijing, you have influence over Tehran, please use it. Because China buys massive amount of Iranian oil. China has invested in Iranian infrastructure. China has maintained relationship with Tehran even while many Western nations isolated it. And America knows that China may have more leverage over Iran than anybody else right now. But here Beijing is not simply obeying Washington here. China has openly criticized attack on Iran. China has rejected several American sanctions, and China is trying to present itself as a very calm, stable power in a chaotic world. Beijing wants to show developing countries that while America brings wars and sanctions, China brings trade and stability. That is the part of the image Mr. Xi Jinping is carefully building. So now Mr. Trump arrives in Beijing carrying pressure from multiple fronts: Iran, trade, Taiwan, AI, global market, and military tension with economic instability. Well, this cannot be an ordinary diplomatic visit, right? This is crisis diplomacy. And the world is watching every shake hand, every smile, every sentence, because one wrong signal from either side, it could send markets into panic within hours. Now, moving on to the second segment,